A negative top 5.
Sweet.
A negative top 5. I don't
about
know about
time.
this.
I don't know
I
about
feel like
this
we're on a
either.
slippery
2
slope.
thumbs down.
Hey folks, welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this, you heard it, this is our top 5 games that do not belong on the BGG Top 100. Yes, this is a negatively fashioned list. Oh, we need to clean house.
That's right. We're cleaning house.
Spring clean.
Top 100 is better.
This is the spring cleaning list of the top 100.
Yep.
Get that junk out of here. Make room for some good blood, some new blood. Maybe. All right.
Maybe.
I like that positive spin. It's all about how you look at it. We have already had exactly one crossover. And because Mr. Blabbermouth couldn't keep his trap shut, we know that a second one's coming.
Yep.
I won't tell you what that is because you got to go watch the other one on the Dice Tower.
Yep.
Anyway, this is our top 5. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right, my number 5. And I just realized I was a little cheeky on this one because 5. And this one's called The 5 Tribes.
Oh.
The Djinns of Nakala. 5 Tribes, the Djinns of Nakala. Now, I have had in the past a love-hate relationship with this game. I don't dislike it.
You're surprised it's been on there this long.
But man alive, this game, it's basically just Mancala.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a game that uses the Mancala mechanism of picking everything up from one and then dropping it off in a circle around. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just that, and oh my goodness, because of everything that's going on the board, I have such a hard time figuring out what I'm going to do on my turn. This game makes me suffer from analysis paralysis more than I think any other game that's in existence.
Yeah, I think that's probably
and
likely.
that's why I don't think it belongs in the top 100, because it has such a proclivity towards pushing its players into paralysis on trying to analyze what they're going to do on their turn. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think it belongs there. But I have really enjoyed the game, but I remember feeling so, during plays of the game, so awkward and so everybody's staring at me and everybody's waiting for me to do what I'm trying to do so that they can do it. They already know they're going to do three things into the future, whatever. And I hate that feeling. I hate being there. I ask when I'm playing games, I'm usually the one that goes, hey, whose turn is it? Because I feel like, oh crap, is it my turn? Crap, you know? But this one, oh, I hate that feeling. And that's why it's on this. I do not ever want to play this game again because of that. And so it's my number 5, 5 Tribes. The Djinns of Nakala.
All right. Well, my number 5, I feel a little bad about. And that's why it only hit number 5.
Ooh.
And one of them I put down there because
So this is
everybody
a holy
loves it.
grail, it sounds like.
This is one that it's so hard. I've probably played this 10 or 15 times. It's a Euro game. It's decent. It's got an ugly map. It's called Concordia. Concordia is a game that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I've seen it played in
Years.
the last 5 years,
Right.
the last 7 years.
Doesn't mean it hasn't been played.
I don't
Just
know.
you-
Doesn't mean it hasn't been played,
Yeah.
but I think that this is a game that the people that do play it, this might be the only board game they have left. I don't know, and they just play it over and over again. But Concordia it's a nice game, and it really has good mechanics, and you're collecting the resources, whatever. But it's just not, compared to all of the new stuff, there's just so many games that just trump it. That, that have such better mechanics, such more beautiful boards, better variability, just all those kind of things. I feel bad for Concordia, but, in my mind, it has kind of run its course.
No, I get you.
So
I get you. I think that can happen. That can happen where a game just loses its oomph by everything that has come on its shoulders, maybe to an extent, but I guess so. Yeah. I don't have any skin in this game because I have played Concordia.
People are still logging games of this game, but I will bet you half of the games or 3/4 of the games that get logged in this are online plays on an app. I'll bet you.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but
maybe
I
that shouldn't even be. You shouldn't be able to do that.
But I'll bet you a lot of those are getting logged on an app.
Interesting.
But anyways, sorry Concordia, you got to go.
All right, my number 4 is a game that, again, one of its reiterations has surpassed it, in my opinion. And I think Roll for the Galaxy is a tremendously better game than Race for the Galaxy.
Me too.
Race for the Galaxy is, it's one of those games where if you don't get the right cards and you don't get the stuff that is going to help you, you're just sitting there wasting your time while everybody else does whatever they want to do, and you can't do what you want to do. But with Roll for the Galaxy, at least you have the idea of rolling the dice, and you pick the right dice that you're going to use, and that kind of stuff, and and you have to roll the right faces. But there's a chance, there's hope there that I just don't find.
There's a lot of mitigation there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just not there in Race for the Galaxy. And we played Race for the Galaxy a lot. It was one of the games that Tom really enjoyed, loved it, and so we played it a lot. And I get it; it's a fun game, but I think Roll for the Galaxy has just simply replaced it for me.
That's fair. I think it's replaced it for me too. I didn't put that one on my list because I do know people still love the way that it goes. I would say that both Roll for the Galaxy and Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition have replaced this for me.
Sure.
For 2 different reasons.
There you go. There you have it.
Anyways,
that's my number 4, Race for the Galaxy.
All right, my number 4.
Oh no.
This is another I don't like game. I've only had one other of those on this. And this one is for the sheer fact that it literally takes 4 hours to play a game of Teotihuacan.
Ooh.
And none of
You
it's
even mispronounced it on purpose.
None of it's exciting. Like, you can play this game, and yes, you're thinking about where you're going and how your dice are aging and stuff like that. But there's not an exciting turn in this game.
Wow.
It is really a game of just little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit until the game's over.
Yeah.
And it's long. So
that's true.
There's nothing mechanically wrong with it. There's just nothing exciting for the high length of game that this is.
I get you. It's like they were like, "Oh, you want a long, dry, boring Euro?
This is it.
Hold my beer."
Well, yeah, exactly. I do like that dice leveling up thing as your dice are aging and stuff like that. But the game just doesn't have any big wins, which I feel like you need in some games to keep you rolling.
The last time I played Teotihuacan was on the cruise.
Oh my goodness!
I can't remember how long ago it was. It was it was before I moved up here, and I played it with Tim Mativier. I played it with Brian Drake and Carla Drake. Those are the 3, and that was a fun game.
Sure.
But it was because of the people, not the game.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Yeah, it's a dry, boring Euro for me. But I enjoyed that experience because of the people that were at the table.
Maybe the motion of the ship helped too.
Maybe that, yeah.
But anyways.
Maybe that. It got my mind off of how sick I was. No, that's...
There you go. Well, that's my number 4, Teotihuacan.
All right. There you go.
Sorry.
All right, my number 3 is a game that it is on this list because of how much it disappointed me from the very beginning. Garfield Games is a great publisher, and I think almost any of their games.
My pocket knife.
Almost any. Oh, he's going to shake.
Keith. No, we'll see.
Almost any of their games deserve to be on the top 100 more than this one does because it let me down that bad.
Okay.
Paladins of the West Kingdom. I do not think. I think any of their other games could easily take this spot. Yep. There's no player interaction except for a teensy bit on all of the stuff that goes on in the middle of the board. It's just everything that you're doing here, and that's just not what I wanted. I wanted more interaction. I wanted
especially right after architects,
inventors, architects, shipbuilders, shipwrights, raiders. All of those could easily take this spot and fill it much better, in my opinion, than Paladins of the West Kingdom. And that's why I was so looking forward to this after Architects. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm down. And then it was like, no, we're going to sap all the fun out of the game now. And this is for all the heavy Euro people.
Yeah, I get
That's
that.
it. And I'm like, well, fine. But not fine.
It's kind of been the biggest departure between two of their games side by side, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because Architects was like, sweet, we're going to have a lot of fun, there's a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
And Paladins are like, no. There was a big jump. There was a big
It was
switch.
a super big switch.
And my wife, Mel, really likes Paladins.
Yeah.
Although I do think that now that...
But she doesn't like it when people can mess with what she's doing.
No, she doesn't.
And you can't do that really in Paladins.
But now even though the South Tigris series has come out, and Ezra and Nehemiah,
Yeah.
I think all of those, for me, have eclipsed Paladins anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I didn't even think about Ezra and Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Ezra and Nehemiah blows Paladins out of the water.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my number 3. He just further solidified my point. Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Paladins of the West Kingdom, hit the road.
I'm such a fanboy of Shem Phillips and Garfield
He is.
games that I couldn't put it on my list.
I'm sorry. He's under contract. Sorry,
I'm
people.
under contract. I've never... No, I'm such a fanboy. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. All right. Well, my number 3. Now, this is an interesting pick, actually. My number 3 I've never played.
Oh.
I read the rules.
I
I've
didn't
talked
do
to
that.
a lot of people about it.
Okay, well, you did your homework.
I
then.
did my
That's fine.
homework on this one, and I've done my homework on this one for years, actually, because I almost bought it when it was $900 at one point in time and whatever
Say
else.
what?
But Kingdom Death Monster is a really weird pick for the top 100 of BGG. For one, I went through and I looked through, I didn't look through every single game, but most of the games on there have anywhere from 26,000 to 150,000 people that own them. Kingdom Death Monster, 13,000.
Well, it's because it was a limited. It's a
very
Kickstarter,
limited,
and then they're like taking a very long time to finish fulfilling everything.
Yeah, but so you have 13,000 people that love it, and then everybody that does own it, obviously they rate it a 10. Like, right, this is the best game there ever was, there ever is. You have to almost justify being spending that
buyer's
much.
remorse justification.
Exactly.
That is exactly what
it really
that
kind
is.
of feels like that. But as far as the broad spectrum of gaming, I don't feel like a game like that should be in the top 100.
I
Right?
agree.
The top 100 of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of players, and somehow this game squeaks in there.
Totally agree.
It's a really weird thing. Not to mention that the subject matter of this game is, shall we say,
Questionable.
questionable. That's a good point. It's questionable the way they do it. Not that I'm squeamish or that I care about that stuff very much.
Right.
But I don't think in the broad terms of top 100 games across the world that game should be in there. So my number 3 is Kingdom Death Monster. I understand if you love it, you love it.
Yep.
I don't think it's a top 100 game.
And again, this falls into the category of I'm not going to include it because I don't have enough experience with it. But I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
I don't think this game is as good as everybody says it is. I think there's a lot of and everybody has, and we've probably all done it to an extent.
Sure.
Where we buy a game, we want it to be good, and so it's gonna be good, and blah 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 blah. And when you plunk down
Yeah,
$900, almost $1,000 for a game, daggum, that game's gonna be good. I don't care if it is or not.
Yeah.
So everybody does it to an extent, and I really do think that's what's going on. I think the people who like it, like ratchet it up because
and you see some games like that. Too Many Bones is a good example. Now, I don't think Too Many Bones is the same, but Too Many Bones started way down in the 1,000, and then it has worked its way up year after year. Kingdom Death Monster, when it came out, it went like this. Boom.
Yep.
Right on the top, because everybody just rated
Everybody
it
was
a 10.
talking about it.
Yeah, and
it
so
was a hype train.
there are quite a few games that build themselves up over time and will climb into the top 100. This was not one of those games. It
Right.
like shot up there just
Right.
because of the hype that was behind it. So there's a difference there.
Yep,
So,
I do.
anyways.
I agree. You have my full support.
That's my number 3.
I'm just going to stand behind you as
Okay,
you say it.
that's all right.
There you go. All right, good. Now it's my turn. And I don't know if he's going to have my back on this one.
Okay.
But there are some games that garner a lot of attention because those games were built upon a video game.
Okay.
And this one, I never understood it because I wasn't part of the video game. And they've even made a TV series about it that I really enjoy. And I've watched 2 seasons of it. At least I think it is. I could be wrong. Could be mistaken. This one's called Mechs vs. Minions.
Oh, I've never played this game, although I think it's overrated.
I have played this game, and yes, I can confirm it's overrated.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the love for the game comes from the fact that it was a beloved video game or whatever series or
Sure.
The Netflix series definitely came after the board game, but that has a lot of love as well, and I've enjoyed that too. I just didn't have the time with the video game, so and when it hit, it was a huge production. Great production value, great miniatures, great storage solution in the box, great components, the whole 9. Everything about this game was good. For me, the gameplay was just, but everybody else was loving it because they were all on that hype train already with it being a board game version of a video game that they enjoyed. I just don't see it. And you know what? I don't hear anybody talking about this game anymore.
I agree with you. Just being around people, whatever else, I would agree. This is probably not a top 100 game anymore, if it ever was.
But it got the hype.
Yep.
And so it's there, and now it has to stay there until people, other games incrementally take it over. Yep. So that's my number 2, Mechs vs. Minions.
Fair. I would have put that on there if I'd have known more about it, if I'd have done enough research. All right. My number 2 might hurt some feelings, and I'm really sorry, but Mansions of Madness is not a very good game. Even 2nd edition. It's just not that good of a game. It is one step better than Betrayal on the House of the Hill. It's just, there's so many games that are so much better than this one. The miniature quality is horrendous. The app assistance is not very good.
Really?
The fact that if I walk up with my strength-based character and I'm going to slap a cultist down with my bat, and then it says do an intelligence check to see how you do, that's horrible. That's horrible. It's just horrible.
I get it.
You go up with your scimitar and you're ready to slash with your dexterity, and it says, whatever, you need to make a history check to see if you defeat this guy, and you're like, I don't get it. There's just so many better games than this out there. I understand, and I've played a lot of Mansions of Madness. I understand the scenarios, and maybe it's Cthulhu Death May Die has completely killed it. Which for me it definitely has.
Yep.
And it doesn't even have an app. But there's a ton of app-driven games out there that are much cleaner than this one.
It was, 2nd edition was, if I'm remembering correctly, chronologically, it was one of the first games that really had that high-level app integration with it, and everybody was loving it.
Sure.
Before that came out, everybody was kind of like, it was trepidatious about drawing that line between board game and video game, and how much app integration can we have before it doesn't feel like a board game anymore. And then Mansions of Madness 2nd edition hit, and everybody was like, but it still feels like a board game.
Sure. Then you got the square bases that you slide the little thing into so you can see the numbers.
Yeah.
And the other piece about this game is kind of funny because there's a lot of people. Yeah, I've played the first 2 scenarios 17 times because the first 2 scenarios are an hour long and an hour and a half long. Yeah. The next scenario is a 4-hour long or split, 5. There's a lot of extremely long scenarios in this. The majority of them are extremely long scenarios.
Yeah.
The way that they were written. So I just don't think it's all that. I think a lot of people play the first 2 scenarios a whole bunch of times and they enjoy it, and that's fine. But,
well, I talked about it a little bit on our top list, our positive version of this list. with Cthulhu Death May Die, and you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And it's completely done away with Mansions of Madness too.
Sure.
You know, Cthulhu Death May Die is my Lovecraftian game of choice now.
Yep.
And it's because I don't really like the theme that much. It's the only one I really ever want to play.
Yep. Me too.
I get it.
All right. Well, that's my
pick.
number 2.
Don't hurt me, because this is going to step on some toes. Used to play this game like it was the only game in existence because Tom loved it, and everybody that we were going to game nights with wanted to play it, and Tom was the only one that had the game, and so we went and we would play Agricola to freaking death. And if I never see Agricola again, anywhere, I'm good. If I wanted to read a book about life in the Middle Ages,
Come on.
I'll
it's
read
not
a
that
book
bad.
about life in the Middle Ages. I don't want to play a game while I'm doing that.
Right.
And that's what you basically had to do. You had to read all of the cards to know exactly how it all worked out. And then on top of that, there's 15 cards in front of you that you have to do that with. And then, did you pay your family? Did you feed them? Because then you're okay. But if not, you have to lose 15,000 points because Timmy is petting the sheep that you keep in your house and you're not killing it to feed them. I don't get it. I don't like Agricola.
Man,
I'm
that
done.
was yeah. Well,
done.
I will 100%. I'm behind you.
Ooh.
First edition of Agricola needs to leave the top 100
Okay.
because the revised edition is already there.
Okay.
There are 2 exact editions
Yes.
of Agricola in the top 100. That's ridiculous.
Now, is the revised edition the brand new one that hadn't even come out yet?
No.
From Awaken
that's the
Realms?
third one.
Because they're just the third one?
Yeah, there's actually 2 more coming out. There's a Dead Harvest one where
I want that one.
it's Agricola Zombies.
I want that one.
I'm gonna have it. So
Good.
I'm gonna get it too.
We're going to play it. Because
Anyways.
I want it because zombies. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually was like, oh, I hate this game because it's got Agricola's name on it. But then it was like, no, it's zombies. I was like, okay, I'm on board.
Anyways, there's normal Agricola, then there's revised edition, which I don't even know. Revised took over like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
I think Caverna is better than Agricola.
I know, but there shouldn't be 2 Agricolas in there.
I agree.
Period.
I agree. But Caverna's in there, so get Agricola out of there.
I like Agricola. Just don't need 2 of them in there. All right. Well, that was your number 1. That's a horrible thing to put at number 1. It's not that
It's my
bad.
number 1. I'm tired of Agricola.
All right. Well, my number 1 is the only game on BGG
I know
that's
this one
not
is.
a board game in the top 100 board games, and that is Crokinole.
It's a tabletop game.
Crokinole can be whatever you want to call it. Is not a board game. Pool is not a board game. Freaking shuffleboard is not a board game.
It's a board game
Crokinole is
that
a
you
cool
play
game. It is
standing
not a board game.
Okay.
It's just not.
I agree. Everybody agree with him. Just nod.
Just not.
Just nod.
It's not a board game, my friends. So, anyways, that's all I got to say about that one.
That's
he
our
already had
second
it on his.
Of 2 crossovers.
That's so ridiculous.
Yes.
My friends, just ridiculous.
Now, we talked about that on our bottom half over on the Dice Tower because that was my number 10. So a little bit of spoilers on that, right?
Yep.
But I absolutely agree with it. It is not top 100 material. Just because you spent $500 on your Crokinole board,
Yep.
it doesn't mean that it is a top 100 style game. Just doesn't. And on top of that, it isn't a board game.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
You're
a cool
correct.
game. It's a great dexterity game. Great
It is. It's very
party
fun.
game, whatever you want to call it.
It's very fun, but
Just
it
not
is
a
not a
board game,
board
my
game.
friends.
I
So-
agree. I agree.
All right,
I
well,
agree.
that's my number 1. Seems
Well-
only logical.
And very logical. Very logical indeed. All right. Well, there you have it. All right. Let the gates open. Hit us up with all those comments because I know you've been yelling at your screens for the last 10 minutes. So go ahead and hit us up. Let us know what we're wrong about, and we
Yeah.
will respond. I promise you. But before you respond, maybe go over and watch our bottom 5. Our bottom 5 over there on the Dice Tower, so you can get the full top 10 of games that do not belong on the BGG Top 100. Come on back, hit us up here, give us a like and subscribe, hit that bell icon, we can let you know when we have more videos coming, and we'll thank you for it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
So for those of you that have stayed here long enough to see me get rid of Gloomhaven in the last video, I'm going to tell you, you might as well get rid of the other XXX Haven games as well. Just get rid of all 3 of them.
Oh boy.
See you later.
He just garnered a lot more hate. Awesome. I love it.